Okay, testing. And we are live. Now, I forgot to set up the camera, so I can't, the second camera, I mean, the Porter cam. So there won't be any of that this stream. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's see. This is the right day. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into a Adventures in the Forgotten Realms draft. I've been really enjoying the format, and I think there's a lot of interesting decks you can actually build. I've been biased towards the equipment deck because I think it's really strong. And the other decks, and I also keep getting like rares and stuff for that deck pushed at me, and so it's like, well, I guess I kind of have to play that deck somewhat anyway. All right, pack one. Let's see what we're dealing with. This one is deals with legendary creatures, right? So, legendary creatures you control enter with a 1/1 counter on them. Legendary spells cost green and red less to cast. And whenever you cast a legendary spell, exile the top 2 cards of your deck, and you can play them this turn. I don't know how many red and green legendaries there are. I mean, I think if I was going to take a card from this pack, it'd be either the Herd Gorger or the Owlbear. I'm not sure that the Bard class is actually that good. Kefka, welcome. Glad to have you. Good evening to you. I think Owlbear is a better card. I really do. Because I've like, if you had like the green red null and stuff, then maybe this is good. Duder, welcome. I'll take the rare. Let's see, Hunter's Mark costs 3 less if it targets a blue permanent you don't control. This can't be countered. Creature you control gets 1/1, and then one-sided fights the opposing creature. That seems good. Oh, this seems like another, like Keen Sense or Curious Obsession effect. Curiosity is the card that I'm looking for. Let's draft green. I've not actually gotten to draft like a real green deck yet. Minion of the Mighty, I don't think I can actually make work. Although, it is a rare, and there was a deck that I could have made it work in that I've drafted so far. What does the Knoll Hunter do? When it attacks, if you attack with power 6 or greater this turn, put a 1/1 counter on it. I'm going to take this because it just seems so much better in our deck, but I know the instant I passed Minion of the Mighty, I'm going to like draft 9 dragons or something stupid. So we'll take the Knoll Hunter. Let's see, Lurking Roper, 3 mana 4/5, does not untap during your untap step. And whenever you gain life, untap it. Is gaining life a like sub-theme in green? I know you can gain life from venturing. And this is not a bad spell to have with the Hunter's Mark, because we can fight, and it's an undercosted creature. Alternatively, I can take Wild Shape, which can be used as a way to protect our creature, or block a flyer, or give our guy trample. Probably that. Tarek, welcome! I'm gonna take Wild Shape, I think. Big No the Barbarian. I don't think Neverwinter Dryad is necessarily what I want, but I probably wouldn't pass it up if there's not a better card. Bear Form, it's a 4/2 when it attacks, and a 2/4 when it's on blocks, basically. Yeah, I'll take the Circle of the Moon Druid. Another Roper. Orfeo, welcome. It's not my birthday. Okay, so now I gotta start taking cards of other colors. What is the archetypes for this format? Because I'm seeing a lot of blue. I don't know what green-blue would be. Green? Okay, so I should have been taking the Lurking Ropers, because apparently gaining life is a green thing. Oh yeah, Herd Gorger, there it is. There's a foil minion of the Mighty. I could have had 2 of them, but no dragons. Red deck OP, take Rapier. Yeah, I should have. I'm going to pass the minions of the Mighty, and I'm going to kind of force taking green. Ah, yes, there it is. The other life gain card. Take another Herd Gorger. I guess I should start taking Neverwinter Dryads if I see them. Compelled Duel or Find the Path. I'm going to go with Find the Path because it ventures and it's technically ramp. Minion of the Mighty came all the way around. Bull Strength, on the other hand, actually is kind of cool because there's a lot of combat tricks you can do with this creature or this card. So we'll take Bull Strength. Nice. Thieves' Tools in the side. Neverwinter Dryads, fine. So how's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. Potion of Healing in the sideboard. Probably not playing that. And we get Forced an Island. My favorite NFL grade kicker. Oh, good. So we've got a Werewolf Pack Leader with Pack Tactics. If you attack with Power 6 or greater, draw a card. Until end of turn, it becomes 5/3, gains trample, it isn't human. I'd be passing on 2-weapon fighting. It really seems like I'm getting past a lot of good green-red stuff, so I probably should have actually taken the those minions of the Mighty, just in case I did actually get a dragon, but we'll take the Pack Leader and probably start looking at going green-red. Celebrating my special day. It's not my birthday. I mean, today was work. And then I went and got groceries. I bought some stuff to make sandwiches and some more flour because I'm out, because I've been baking bread. I forgot how much I love doing that. I really do like baking. I don't do it enough, but I also try not to because I don't want to be fat. Probably just like ham and cheese. Okay, so we did get Targnar. Pack Tactics. When it attacks, attacking creatures get 1/0, and you can double its power. Well, that is legendary, and we can play it with Bard class. And I was talking about playing a Pack Tactics deck, so we'll take Targnar. Fat, no. Well, I've got to get back to exercising, but I'm not gonna do weight training anymore. I'm still gonna like train with weights, but I'm not specifically. I'm not gonna be doing powerlifting or trying to get as huge as possible. I've run into too many circumstances where being big and huge didn't matter. And to get as huge as I would like to be, I would have to start taking steroids or doing a whole bunch of really crazy stuff, and that's just not what I want to do with my life. Battlecry Goblin is an excellent pack tactics payoff. Plundering Barbarian is also great. There's a Ranger's Longbow and an Inspiring Bard. I will take the Goblin. Yes, I have actually for about the last decade made my own birthday cakes. I always do a single layer chocolate sheet cake with chocolate frosting. It was my grandmother's recipe, and my mom made it for every birthday growing up. Recall, thank you for resubscribing. 4 months. Glad to have you. You're a wonderful human being. I appreciate the support. Zorn, if you would create 1 or more treasure tokens, make that many +1. That's pretty good. Although I don't make that many treasure tokens, I think taking the Rapier is correct, especially with all the pack tactic stuff that's going on. Alternatively, I could take a Plummet for the sideboard, but it doesn't actually take that much, believe it or not. It is just flour, sugar, eggs, cocoa powder, water, butter, and I know I'm forgetting something, but I think we'll take Bullet here. Just a creature that gets bigger at every end step's fine. If I'd taken the other 2 Lurking Ropers, I probably would take this one. But I did not, so we'll take the card that synergizes slightly better. Armory Veteran is another great creature to have equipped all the time. We only have 1 equipment now. And I'm passing on a Bull Strength or an Underdark Basilisk to take this. I do have one one-sided fight, so maybe that's a point in the Underdark Basilisk's favor. Oh, pfft. I don't make them every day. I'd be big as a house. Price of Loyalty is fine. Victoria Sponge Cake Sandwich with vanilla cake, whipped cream, and strawberry jam. Nice. That sounds good. I'll take another Bull Strength. Neverwinter Dryad. I guess I'll take, because I have 2 Herd Gorgers. Maybe I should have actually taken the leather armor that was in that pack. I just saw it. And I took an Armory Veteran. Tomorrow's not my birthday. I don't plan on streaming tomorrow. And I'm definitely not making a birthday cake for my birthday, which isn't tomorrow. Cursed Idol. This is actually a pretty decent sideboard card. Or not sideboard, it's actually like main deckable because you can just use it to venture into a dungeon. But destroying a single artifact or enchantment's also pretty good in this format. There's a leather armor, and I do like that a lot more than Ranger's Longbow. Happy Kano Day, Mr. Birth. Wait a minute, what? I'm not playing any of these cards, so sure, sideboard. Scaled Herbalist is on color, but I'm probably not playing that either. I have exactly 1 legendary, which tells me that Bard class is not very good for me. A 3rd Bull Strength. Perfect. My day today was fine. It was not my birthday, but nothing too crazy happened, really. Why is this the incorrect size? Okay. Island in the sideboard. If Kano family members are present, confirmed today is Kano's birthday. They're not here, and I don't think they're watching. Alright, last pack. We have Ochre Jelly. Trample, green X becomes an XX. When it dies, if it had 2 or more 1/1 counters on it, create a token that's a copy of it at the beginning of the next end step. That token enters the battlefield with half that many 1/1 counters rounded down. The alternative is a Dragon's Fire or a Red Dragon. I'll take the Jelly. The Jelly is just going to be good at like any stage of the game. The ban? What do you mean, Orfeo? There's a Demi-Lich. Is that worth anything? If that's the case, I will be taking this, because that is the price of a draft. Be missing out on a Null Hunter, though, which does make our deck a lot worse. Yeah, that's worth 25 tickets. I'm taking this. Lair of the Hydra. You control 2 or more other lands and there's tapped. X green, it becomes an XX. It's still a land. Well, we definitely have enough playable cards. I will take this. We're playing a lot of rares. Another Null Hunter, which I think will be good for us. Rare Tribal on Kano's birthday. I'll take another Hunter's Mark. I don't really like Critical Hit, and Unexpected Windfall is not going to do that much for us. You just want Urza's Saga to drop in price. Did I tell you about... I think I mentioned it in my video, but did you guys hear about how I got the third one of those? Because I opened 2 during drafts when I was drafting that format. But the third one I got because I... Yeah, I think we take Intrepid Outlander here. I don't really want the Ranger. I would actually rather maximize on 2 drops. I probably should take the Boots of Speed, but... Druid class. Land enters the battlefield, gain 1 life. You can play an additional land on every turn. Target land you control becomes this creature's power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. That is probably worse than Direwolf Prowler for us, because this card is actually, I think, a better top deck. But the Urza Saga thing, I opened 2 during the drafts that I was doing, and then I had 2 packs left over when the league closed, and rather than sell them, because they were like 6 tickets a piece, I was like, nah, I might as well just open the packs I got, and I opened a third one. I kind of overreacted to it initially, because I don't like playing against it, but it's not really that hard to interact with. It's easier than I initially thought it would be. It was just difficult because I was playing a mono black deck and basically only had to have Feed the Swarm. But unless something shows up that's severely broken, I think Ragavan is the thing more in danger of being banned. But that's my opinion, so, you know, take that for almost nothing. What does this do? Target creature blocks this turn if able. Okay. We'll take Sylvan Shepherd. I do like Sylvan Shepherd. Just repeatedly gaining life is good. Nice. Direwolf Prowler is probably the best creature for us. I mean, Sylvan Shepherd gaining us a bunch of life is fine. I have 2 fight spells. Maybe I should take the Death Touch guy, but I'm really overloaded in the 2-drop slot. I'm going to take the Prowler. Another Null Hunter. Nobody took it. Sure. You're brewing Bluetron with a red splash for fire and ice and a gut shot to murder the monkey. Interesting. I'll take Bullet. Card I'm not playing, putting aside. The 4th Bull Strength. Mimic for the side, and a Plains for the side. Thinking about doing that and playing Banefire for memes. I mean, that's reasonable. Like, you don't have to splash red to play Gutshot. I think it's actually reasonable to play that card in just any deck you want to kill X1s in. Fire and Ice... I know it's a good card. I'm just wondering how good it is in Bluetron. Dick Record, rating with a party of 7. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. It's not my birthday. Quit telling people that. Thank you, Drifter DDM, but it's not my birthday. Okay, so we gotta... I probably can only play like 1 or 2 bull strengths. Thank you for following, Drifter. I mean, like, Banefire I can actually see as a win condition for the deck, because you generate so much mana, but... So I need to cut some number of creatures. Most of these cards I'm fine with playing. Did he actually lie and say, alright, we're gonna raid, it's his birthday? Because it's totally not. So let's see. I'm not really doing a lot of venturing, so there's no real reason for me to play Find the Path. Neverwinter Dryad might just be better ramp in this deck. You know what? I'll be completely honest, Dick Record. I need to learn to draft this set better, too. I don't think we're playing Scaled Herbalist. Because while that can accelerate us into playing a lot of lands, we have to be holding them. Wild Shape can give a creature hexproof. But I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm not going to do that because... I mean, potentially it's good, right? But only if I'm using it for, like, the hexproof mode. That's true. The last time I made cupcakes, they were delicious. Kano's cupcakes. Alright, so I need to cut some number of creatures here. I mean, Armory Veteran is actually kind of one of my worst creatures. Simply because... Man, I should I just, like, cut the red cards and just play mono green? I guess... No, because I have Targnar. And the red cards I have are good. It's just probably not going to need them all that much. Let's see. Okay, so this is my other way to venture. Getting to 6 mana has not been that hard. I think I can get away with 1 Neverwinter Dryad. The death trigger is, like, kind of nice for the boulettes, but... Or however you pronounce this. I guess if I'm not playing the Armory Veteran, I don't need the leather armor. What is that? You guys still playing bingo? What is it? Tactfully ignoring chat bingo? Maybe I don't need Sylvan Shepherd. I could bring it in versus aggressive decks. If I took all of those Ropers, then I definitely would have. But okay, we're gonna play Lair of the Hydra though. I don't have that many things that are double green, except Werewolf Pack Leader. The only other double green things are at the top of the curve, so I'm fine running a few extra mountains that the auto-suggest didn't think I should. But yeah, I passed 3 or 4 of them this draft. And because I was looking for green cards, I didn't realize that like green sub-theme was gaining life. I was looking for green cards that gained life, and I just didn't see any, and so I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going to take these cards. And then I realized, like, Bull Strength untaps your creature, and then there's the stupid Sylvan thing that gains you life every time it attacks, and, like, yeah, no, I'm not a smart man, but that's been established. It's okay. I did a lot of drugs in college too. Oh my god, college was half a decade ago. 6 years ago now. All right. Here we go, round 1. We're on the draw, and we actually have a pretty decent setup here. We can get to pack tactics pretty quickly. How many birthdays is that in Kano time? Oh my gosh. And got one shot by a 1716 unicorn? Man. I'm actually gonna go to a pre-release for this because one of the local places is gonna have one, and my buddy invited me out. So I'm kinda like trying to get good at this format. Opponent plays a Swamp, then plays a Soul Knife Spy, attacks. We take 1. We draw Price of Loyalty, which I could steal this Soul Knife Spy and draw a card off it. That actually kind of seems reasonable. Because I can't kill it outright, so I might as well get the benefit of it first. No. We'll play the Null Hunter. Go to combat. Attack for 2. They should not block here. Pass the turn. I missed 2 damage. I got to thinking about that Dueling Rapier, but now I'm going to have to play it on my opponent's end step. Because I'm bad at this game. Does someone watching want to throw a punt up on the board? Actually, I was playing around Charmed Sleep like a baller. Alright, opponent hits us for 4. They get to draw a card. They play a Swamp. They play Warlock class. So let's Dueling Rapier. Stick it on this guy. We untap. We draw a Forest. So play a Forest, and let's Bull Strength. Go to combat. Attack for 10. I'll destroy the Charmed Sleep. Because that way my guy will untap and we'll have Price of Loyalty to just swing lethal. These Pack Tactics decks seem to snowball pretty hard. Opponent levels up Warlock class to level 2. Wouldn't you, prior to digging, wouldn't you want to attack with Soul Knife Spy unless you thought the only way you could survive was by blocking? Arcane Investigator. Okay. Nice. Get the critical hit with a dragon. We draw Direwolf Prowler. So steal Soul Knife Spy. And the game is over. Well, that was easy. I mean, if their like whole combat trick is going to be just tapping my guy permanently, I think I'd rather have a Bull Strength than like a Neverwinter Dryad, but that's just me. I mean, I'm already main decking 2. We'll just run it back. Has anybody you know actually like timid someone yet and just 20'd them with a fire breathing thing? Alright, opponent plays a Shambling Ghast. We draw a Forest. Play Neverwinter Dryad. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Warlock class and a Reaper's Talisman. Attacks us for 1. We draw a Null Hunter. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Play the Hunter. Pass the turn. If we hadn't drawn something to play, I was considering keeping that back on blocks that turn, but we drew a 2-drop. Okay, opponent equips Reaper's Talisman. They drain us for 2 and give their guy Death Touch. You know, Duder, that's what Bone Daddy was suggesting we do. We draw a mountain. Play a mountain. Go to combat. Oh, am I going to trade? I don't think I'm going to trade. I think I'm going to race. Hit him for 3. Play the Direwolf Prowler. Pass the turn. Okay. They attack. We get Reaper's Talisman. No blocks. Go to 13. And they're activating Warlock class. So I think we're going to try and ramp our way up to the Herd Gorger and the Ochre Jelly. So we'll pump this guy, swing in with everybody, trigger the pack tactics, then sack the Dryad. Okay, opponent finally has blue mana. And they play an Arcane Investigator. We draw Lair of the Hydra. So play a Forest. Go to combat. Pump the Direwolf. I could leave this back on blocks, but I'm not going to. Swing out. Counter on the Null. If my opponent blocks the Dryad, I'm actually just going to trade with it. Yeah, I don't need the mana that desperately. We'll trade. Hit our opponent for 7. Pass the turn. Now if I draw an untapped land, I can still play the Direwolf Prowler and pump it to give it haste. Because for some reason this gains haste in addition. Opponent drains us for 2, hits us for 1. We go to 10. Then they play a Zombie Ogre. We draw Bull Strength. So play Lair of the Hydra. Go to combat. Actually, pump this pre-combat. Then attack. Counter on the Null. If my opponent blocks, we are going to bull strength. Okay. We trample over 1 damage. They go to 10. Pass the turn. Really don't know that I want to block. It's not really that aggressive of a threat. And if we draw a land, we can gain life off the Herd Gorger. Okay, they finally are sticking back to defense. We untap and draw Hunter's Mark. This only has Death Touch when it attacks. Okay. Play a new Direwolf Prowler. Give this one haste. Go to combat. Flunge. Opponent has to block, otherwise they die. They can block and trade with a 2/2. But if they do that, they go to 1. And they're not getting a treasure if they do that. Okay, opponent blocks the 5/5. They take 6 and go to 4. They make a treasure. Then they flash in a Grim Wanderer. Uh-oh. Am I dead? Because they can equip the Talisman, drain us for 2 and hit us for 5, and we'd go to 3. They did not equip the Talisman. Oh no! At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. That's exactly lethal! Alright, now I'm mad. Ouch. I took 1 point of damage too many. And by the time I realized my mistake, it was too late. It's too late to sideboard for game 3, oh well. I'd like to play first. No red mana, but we do have a bunch of good green cards. So, lead on Forest, pass the turn, big enough smash. I'm glad you guys did, because when I saw, or when I had that idea, I was basically like, I've got to do this. This is so dumb. That isn't that much of a threat. Dies to it. That's a really Kano thing to do. It's not that much of a threat. Lose to it. Porter? Oh, hang on a minute. We've been having a lot of spiders in the basement. Porter keeps like going over and nosing them. So like I have to stop him and kill the spider. Go to combat. It's not gonna be a chair stream. Attack for 3. No blocks for the opponent. Alright, yeah, dueling rapier. Suit up the werewolf. Hit them for 5, take them to 15. Play a null hunter. Pass the turn. They did not crack Evolving Wilds on our end step, meaning they either needed to draw a land or that was a misplay. They play a swamp. Then they pass. We untap. We draw a Lair of the Hydra. So this we can actually give trample. Go to combat. There's a lot of tricks that end up giving you huge swings. Attack. We get to draw a card. It's a mountain. Counter on the null. They block the null. Let's pump the werewolf. I cast Fireball. They fetch an island. They take 7. They make a treasure. Pass back. They play a land. Grim Bounty, they kill the werewolf pack leader. We untap. Draw Neverwinter Dryad. Play a mountain. Play Targnar. Play the Dryad. Yeah, I've played and I've DM'd. Go to combat. Is there a shield spell? Not, I don't think in this format, no. I've been in a lot of really silly campaigns. And I say really silly because campaigns that I'm in, I tend to power game a little bit and the scaling gets all wonky. Less so in any of like the 5th edition games that I've played, but in like the 3.5 game I played and the what's it called? Pathfinder game I played. This opponent is going to unsummon with the air elemental. I imagine the pack leader, but they could unsummon Targnar. And yes, the Pathfinder game that I played that ended up getting really silly, I was a sorcerer where I roleplayed as Melvin the Mercurian the entire time. I never not did the voice the entire campaign. Fetch up a forest, untap. And it was equally awesome and dumb. Like you would imagine it would be. When do we get to see Melvin again? Probably a long time. Maybe even next St. Patrick's Day. So I can't really attack into this. So let's play Lair of the Hydra, Null Hunter, and Circle of the Moon Druid. Pass the turn. I know you guys dump skulls into anything that you want to see me do, but I think that's kind of a once a year kind of thing. Just saying. We untap. We draw Intrepid Outlander. So let's play the Herd Gorger. Gain some life. It's not as bad as you might think. That voice is not actually that difficult to do. But for really extended periods of time, yeah. It kind of devolves into, like, strictly Kermit the Frog at certain points. And I can't eat anything too acidic the day that I do it. Actually, thinking about what I ate today, I probably shouldn't. So on top of all of the other reasons I wasn't going to. Also, no. We untap. We draw another Knoll Hunter. So play the Hunter. Play the Intrepid Outlander. And pass the turn. Maybe on my next birthday. That'd be after St. Patrick's Day. Unless, of course, this is another birthday joke, in which case, no, not next week. I tried to preempt that, Tarek. I really did. We untapped. We draw. Mountain. Alright. Play a mountain. Fire up the old Hydroland. Go to combat. Swing with everybody. Pack tactics triggers abound. Game over. We probably could have had that a turn earlier had I just done that, but I wasn't absolutely certain. Wasn't absolutely certain. Kano's having a stroke. I gotta restart the client. Hang on. I've been having a rough week, man. I called one of my coworkers. Instead of Evan, I called him Ethan. Not once, but twice. The second time was after I was corrected. It was bad. Surprised I'm not wearing green more now that I figured out the green screen thing. Yeah, me too, actually. Well, honestly, every time I dress myself in the morning, I think to myself, all right, I can't wear green today because I'm recording. Like any day that I happen to be recording, right? Even though that's no longer the case, it's like sleepy brain hasn't figured it out yet. That is almost how that went. I was really embarrassed. But I couldn't stop myself either. It was bad. All right, round 2. Here we go. Yeah, this hand looks good. I'm gonna keep. Opponent plays a forest. We draw Lair of the Hydra. So I'm going to lead on that. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Temple of the Dragon Queen. They don't reveal a dragon, so it enters tapped. We draw Direwolf Prowler. So play a forest. Play Intrepid Outlander. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Hobgoblin Captain. We draw a forest, so play a forest, go to combat, attack for 2. Opponent goes to trade. They take the trade. All right. Play Circle of the Moon Druid. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Hoarding Ogre. We untap. Draw Knoll Hunter. Play a Mountain. Play the Knoll Hunter. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Mountain. They go to combat. They attack for 3. They crit. Get 3 treasures. That's pretty good. The old suspend 1 Dark Ritual Lightning Bolt on a single card. And then they play an Earth Cult Elemental. So regardless, we're sacking a permanent. So throw down Dueling Rapier. Attach it to the Hunter. That was incorrect. I needed to attach it to the Druid. Yeah, sack a forest. We untap. Draw Battlecry Goblin. Play a forest. Now, I can either equip the Circle of the Moon Druid and attack, or I can play out the Goblin. Alright. Well, play out the Goblin. I think it's still correct to do this. I messed up. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They go to combat and attack. They roll a d20, getting more treasures. Block with a 2/4 like I should have last turn. Put another punt up on the board. The Hydra land is awesome. Oh my god. They're just playing bigger stuff than me. Mad Gummer. Thank you for subscribing. You're a wonderful human being, and I appreciate the support. There's no mono green Tron deck in the format right now. Like, it's very, very outclassed. Can I even do anything about this? Until they ban Ragavan or somebody brews a sufficient counter, we're probably not going to be able to play it very well. I do have the fight spell. Just not in my hand. Opponent goes to combat and attacks for a lot. God, I don't want to give up my pack tactics stuff. Gut shot and dismember would be way too much life loss. Like, way too much life loss. So block and block. Opponent kills just the Prowler. Unless they have a combat trick, and they do. Yeah, I'm going to go to next game. I can't beat that. Well, actually, I was just dead there. Never mind. Play the Storm Life Spell main? No, that doesn't work that well. There's no fix for that in Tron, I could guarantee you. I'm going to play... God, what am I going to do about this? My opponent is playing creatures that are way bigger than any of the creatures that I have. I guess I could play Sylvan Shepherd, but... I think I just need to draw my top end if my opponent's playing threats that big. Or we need to overwhelm them on the low end much faster. Alright, I'll play first. We have a Null Hunter. Okay, any land makes this hand great. The hand as it is fine. Play a forest, pass the turn. Opponent plays a tap land. We untap and draw Neverwinter Dryad. Play Null Hunter. Pass the turn. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Opponent blocks. So we get to bull strength. Run them over. They untap. So get this. Greentron, we replace Scrying for Repeal, Stirrings for Condescend, switch out a few win cons, add some blue mana, and boom, perfectly tuned for the mana. The meta, excuse me. Let's see. Play Lair of the Hydra. Tapped, because it's tapped. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Play Neverwinter Dryad. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain. Plays an Inspiring Bard. Gains life. We untap and draw Null Hunter. So play Circle of the Moon Druid. Pass the turn. Yeah, if you're playing a Karn Wish board with no actual ways to win in the Wish board. I'm going to take 3. I would much rather be attacking with this Druid if given the opportunity. Opponent plays a Hoarding Ogre. We untap. We draw Hunter's Mark. So... Go to combat. Attack and attack. Pack Tactics trigger. Opponent no blocks. Alright, I've got to play out this other Hunter. I need to draw a land for Hunter's Mark, but... Opponent attacks for 6. They get 1 treasure this time. No blocks. We go to 11. We can kill anything with 5 or less toughness, provided we're left alone. Our board is left alone, I mean. Meteor Swarm, kill our whole board. Yeah, that does it. Oh my god. I can't even, like, stay back on blocks either. If I hit them for 2 down to 9, then they attack us for half our life total. We just got mana screwed because this is turn 7. Yep. No blocks. Go to 5. Opponent plays a land. Oh, and they have more stuff. Yep. Lands where we're playing, we don't need lands. Well, consider the trophy attempt foiled. All Kano wants for his birthday is lands on curve. How about we rephrase that as all Kano wants for his birthday is to curve out, because lands on curve implies drawing a land every turn to me. And I most certainly would not want that for my birthday. Are you saying you want to be curvy? Not like you imply. 'Cause I already am. Alright. Let's keep this. If we draw a second green source on turn 2, we can start with Pack Leader, which is pretty fantastic. Play Forest, pass the turn. Honestly, I honestly expected you to just respond with a clip. Like, oh gosh. Opponent leads on a swamp, no one drop. We untap. We draw a Circle of the Moon Druid. We'll play Intrepid Outlander because it has more toughness than Targnar. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Kalane, Reclusive Painter. Enters battlefield, make a treasure token. Other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter for each mana from a treasure spent to cast them. Alright, we draw a mountain, play a mountain, go to combat, and attack for 2. Opponent takes 2, goes to 18. Play Circle of the Moon Druid. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp. They play a Horde Robber and a Warlock class. Then they pass. We untap. Draw Mountain. I could Price of Loyalty and take Horde Robber, which would fix my mana enough to play Werewolf Pack Leader, while also venturing into the dungeon. I actually think I'm going to do that. So gain control of Horde Robber. Go to combat. And attack for 7. We get to venture. I think we're going to go to Phandelver. We get to Scry. Forest to the bottom. Kind of betting on the fact that my opponent will... Never mind. They take 6. I was fooled. Pass the turn. Well, the cool thing is we can get a treasure next turn regardless, just by attacking. To delve his fans? Is that a really esoteric OnlyFans joke? Opponent plays a mountain. Oh gosh. Alright. Opponent hits us for 1. Makes a treasure. Now what are they doing? They play a 5/7 zombie ogre. That's pretty good. That's really good. Not gonna lie, kind of frustrated. Play Targnar. Pass the turn. This guy's a very strong payoff if you can make treasures. 4 mana. Opponent plays a Clattering Skeleton. Passes. We draw a forest. Play a forest. Play Werewolf Pack Leader. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They level up Warlock class. Big No the Barbarian. Opponent plays a Sepulchre Ghoul. They're attacking us for 4. I think we just take it. We untap and draw You Find a Cursed Idol. Blow up Warlock class. I mean, I did get blown out by the final level of it, but I'm thinking. I think I do cast this turn. The question is whether I destroy that or whether I venture. I will also play out the Direwolf Prowler. That's happening regardless here. Alright. We'll destroy it. Pass the turn. Actually, if I had ventured, I could have shrunk the zombie ogre when I attacked because of the pack tactics trigger of the Outlander. So I could have gone down the right path, making a treasure, and then shrinking the zombie ogre and getting a much better swing. Okay, so I know my opponent must have a combat trick if they're attacking with Horde Robber. They change their mind. Alright, no blocks. We go to 11. They Deadly Dispute, sacking Horde Robber to get a treasure and draw 2 cards. And they play a Lightfoot Rogue and a Grim Wanderer. Why wouldn't they spend their treasure mana there? They get to venture. Okay, we untap. We draw a Hill Giant Herd Gorger, which is actually a nice thing to have because I think it stops my opponent from attacking. It also gains us a little bit of life. Pass the turn. He's 8,500 years old. Half elf or elf? No, you can't just equip stuff that says you're unblockable. That's not fair. I guess if this crits and can't be blocked. Alright, well, take 3. There goes that idea. Guess we start swinging. I forgot when my birthday is, so I just celebrate every day. Play a forest. Go to combat. I think I basically just swing out here. Because my opponent has to block a lot. There's a really good chance I die on the backswing if that's the case. I can venture and get a 1/1 to block with. And that makes things a little bit better. And I am drawing a card off the Werewolf Pack Leader. I think this is actually what we do. So stack the triggers like this, so we draw first. Let's see what we get. Ochre Jelly. Okay, all of our creatures get 1/0. We venture. We get... if I go into the mine tunnels and they don't block Targnar, he's lethal by himself. I think we get a Goblin. See how our opponent blocks, and then we can decide which abilities to activate. Opponent blocks, blocks, blocks. Trades. Trades. Yep, so we don't have any excuse to activate any abilities unless our opponent does something crazy. Okay, they get to venture. They traded away their whole board, which I think is a little questionable. Because they don't know what the last card in my hand is, but to be fair, when I started this turn, I didn't either. Okay, so on second main, I think the correct choice was blocking a little bit more conservatively and then trying to one-shot me. Play a 6/6, pass the turn. And now we got a big trample in Jelly. Opponent goes to combat with the rogue that can't be blocked. Yeah, can't block. Take 2, go to 9. And they play a Hulking Bugbear. We untap. Draw Forest. So I think I attack with the Herd Gorger and the Ochre Jelly. And leaving back 2 blockers is probably fine. They have to block the Herd Gorger, and they can put the Zombie Ogre in front of the Jelly. Maybe I should have actually just attacked with the Herd Gorger, but I guess this guarantees a creature dies. It did by itself, too, so I guess there was no reason to do that. Alright, pass the turn. I may have lost something for nothing. Probably Strawberry Jelly. I'm not a huge fan of grapes, but I also don't like jelly. in general. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick strawberry jelly. Opponent attacks and can't be blocked. So we take 3. Go to 6. We untap. We draw a Lair of the Hydra. So go to combat. Attack for lethal. So I think they can get us if they crit with the Lightfoot Rogue and then venture into the Dark Pools. But I think that's the only way. And the Lair of the Hydra pretty much guarantees they're dead next turn. Five mana. Opponent has Faraday's Fireball, taking us to 4. Okay, so now if they crit, we die. Actually, if a creature dies this turn... If a creature died this turn, so if they attack with the Zombie Ogre, we have to double block to kill it. Okay, they don't. We untap and draw a Circle of the Moon Druid. So if I animate this Lair of the Hydra, they're going to have to block there, and they'll have to block there, and we hit them for 5. Unless their last card in hand is removal, this should work. Okay, there's no reason to hold back mana for the Druid either. Go to combat. Attack with everybody. Really hope they don't have removal. And we got there. Whew. I'm going to bring in Sylvan Shepherd simply because I kind of want to break the symmetry of attacking a little bit more. And I'm actually going to drop Neverwinter Dryad. Run it back. I don't know if I'm on Team Strawberry. I'm kind of loosely confederated with it. Mav, welcome. Glad to have you. I think I'm going to mulligan. Alright, this is much better. We'll put back the Dueling Rapier, despite that being a really good card. I really want to draw a Mounted. Okay, opponent starts by playing a Warlock class. We draw a Null Hunter, which is good. Lead on Lair of the Hydra. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Mountain. They play Horde Robber. We draw a Circle of the Moon Druid. Play Null Hunter. Pass the turn. If I play the Druid, the turn after I can actually attack and get a Pack Tactics trigger. Opponent plays a Lightfoot Rogue. We draw Hunter's Mark. Play a Forest. 1-9 gains Death Touch. 10-19, 1-0 in Death Touch. 20, +3/+0, First Strike, and Death Touch. Maybe on his birthday. Not you two. We're going to play Sylvan Shepherd. Pass the turn. gosh. Opponent activates Warlock class. You're all fired. Don't come into work tomorrow. Alright. So opponent puts the Painter guy and a Swamp in the grave. So out of the top 3 cards, it wasn't those they picked. They attack with Death Touch, so we're not going to block. It will never not be your birthday. I'll always deny it until the actual day. Opponent plays a Sepulchre Ghoul. We draw Intrepid Outlander. So play Circle of the Moon Druid. And I'm going to attack with Sylvan Shepherd because it has Vigilance. We can also gain life off of it, potentially. Gain some life, which is good. Opponent double blocks. So Order blockers will kill the 2/1 unless they sack. We lose our guy too. Alright. That's fine. Opponent plays a land. Plays a Clattering Skeletons and attacks. With Death Touch. I really don't want to trade, but I think I have to. There's always a chance, right? So creature died this turn, we lose a life. We untap. We draw a mountain. Play a mountain. And we'll play Intrepid Outlander and Targnar. Which is really weird to say. Targnar is really throwing me off. Oh, you haven't been around for that discussion, Mav. I don't wear the bone ties and shiny the bow ties and shiny shirts anymore because they don't fit. I got too big. Arms are too big around. Chest is too big around. I literally couldn't fit into them anymore. Opponent plays a Vampire Spawn, drains us for 2. We untap. We draw Price of Loyalty. So I can Hunter's Mark and kill the Clattering Skeletons. And that makes our attacks very favorable. I think I'm going to do that. The fact that it gets... this is +1/+1 in a one-sided fight, right? So if I fight here... Targnar will live unless they double block him, and then the Druid would connect. Oh no. Opponent gets to venture. I can't wait for the people to go back and just take clips of the individual 2-word sentences and re-edit them together in some weird order. It's a good thing nobody ever does that. Go to combat. Swing out. So, Anthem all our guys. Venture. Going to Fandelver. Do I want land number 5? Kind of. Put the land on top. So let's see how they block. They're going to double block Targnar. So we're going to actually take out the 1/3 and not the 2/3 here. Because I don't want them making treasures and ramping. Opponent scoops, and we go 2 and 3, getting our 2 packs. Alright. So, I'm going to restart the client. We're going to do another draft, because I am not pleased with how that one went. You kids, taking stuff out of context. Mav, just because I troll you on your stream. Playing Bloodborne. Just force draft skeletons. If I get the rare that relates to skeletons, then I actually might force skeletons. The problem is, like, all the cards that make skeletons I think are uncommon, so it's gonna be it'd be a really hard thing to try and make work. This one, okay, yeah. You got the platinum trophy for Bloodborne? Nice. I heard that's really hard. This is not way harder than Bloodborne. This is more mentally involved than Bloodborne, but less dexterity required. Okay. Well, I think I have to take Meteor Swarm, because that's a really crazy removal spell. As much as I'd like to take Hunter's Mark. I'm passing a few good cards, but it's got to be the Swarm. I can't get away from red in this format. It's like I keep getting the rares and the uncommons. Okay, let's see. If you would roll one or more dice, roll that many dice plus one and ignore the lowest roll. Then you guys get more aggressive whenever you roll dice, and creatures you control have haste. Well, I regretted not taking this card last time. And even though Dragon's Fire's great removal, we're gonna be the Barbarian today. Grog, Barbarian class. Let's see. Blue Dragon enters the battlefield until your next turn. Shrink a bunch of stuff. There's Earth Cult Elemental, which does deal with die rolling, but is really, really hard to cast. I think I'm going to take the Hobgoblin Captain, because that's probably the most aggressive creature. I'm hoping that Valor Singer or Price of Loyalty comes around. Has anyone done Class Gauntlet yet? No, I was actually just reading about it prior to starting the stream. Barbarian hype! So there's Sylvan Shepherd, which is repeatable die rolling. Death Priest of Miracle. Let's see. Skeletons, vampires, and zombies you control get +1/+1. And at the end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay 1. So I can either take Dragon's Fire or Sylvan Shepherd. I don't know that I'm playing green, and blue is the color that deals the most with die rolling. I think I'm going to take the Dragon's Fire because it's also really good removal. I might regret not taking the Sylvan Shepherd, but we'll find out. Instrument of the Bards. So let's see. It's a 1-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can put a counter on it. And 4 mana, you can search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to the number of counters on it. If that card is legendary, you can make a treasure. That seems good. But there's also a Hobgoblin Captain in this pack. Well, I mean, like, there's reasons for us to take the die rolling. So, I'm going to go with the Instrument of the Bards. We'll see if we can make red-green work. No guarantees, though. Let's see. Destroy an artifact or exile the top 3 cards of your opponent's library. Till end turn, you may play that card. Alright, we'll take you find some prisoners. Yeah, so the Class Gauntlet, I think it's just like... I don't think there's like any draft or you open packs or whatever. You just open one of 12 decks, right? You pick which class, and they make like a deck around the theme, and you just try and play that. Am I correct in that understanding? For those of you that actually took the time to read, because you know I don't. Alright, I'll take Minion of the Mighty. I guess this card can wield equipment pretty well, and we're in red. There's no die rolling cards here, although Soul Knife Spy would be good if we were going to go into blue, which we have the instrument, so maybe not. 12 different pre-constructed decks built around class enchantment and compete against other players in a league. Oh yeah, so it's like a cheap event. That's kind of cool. They don't charge you like a full event price to play in it. Boots of Speed or Dueling Rapier. I think the Rapier is stronger. I'm going to take the Rapier. I want some Boots of Speed, so I wouldn't mind picking up the card, but when comparing the two directly, I think this one's better. Big No doesn't read cards. How about Big No doesn't read, full stop? Get as far down as Barbarian class, plays 3 Ragavan. Really? It does? Why? It has 3 Ragavans, 4 Lightning Bolts, and 4 Moxes. Or 8 Moxes? What? How is that a deck? How does anything compare to that? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I still took the card I wanted, but like... I'm upset for a format I'm not even gonna play. Like... I'm gonna take Inspiring Bard here. I think that's better than the Underdark Basilisk. Another Cursed Idol or an Earth Cult Elemental. Earth Cult is top end that does deal with die rolling for the Barbarian class, so I think I'll take that. Sylvan Shepherd came around. Fantastic. Big No Barb, my man. I'm heading offline. Good luck with Embracing Inner Rage. No problem, Tarek. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to have you. Sylvan Shepherds came around, so I got absolutely rewarded. I'll put a Foil Swamp in my sideboard, and an island. Alright, pack 2, we get a green Mythic, so we're taking the green Mythic. This is a 7-mana, 7/7 flying creature. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. Well, that just seems real damn good. So, we're taking Gnawbone. Is that worth anything? It's only 3 tickets, so it's just like $3. It's not 0, so... I guess now I need to look for cards that create treasures so I can get to them faster. Pack 2. There's another Hobgoblin Captain, which I am tempted to take because he's halfway to Pack Tactics by himself. There is another Sylvan Shepherd, but that will probably come around given the fact that 2 of them did in the first round. I don't actually want Targnar. I don't think he's that great. I think his Pack Tactics trigger is good, but I think actually the Captain is better in most cases, especially when I already have one. Plus, there's some real Goblin synergies in this format. 3rd Hobgoblin Captain? I wanted the Unexpected Windfall, and the Ranger's pretty good too, but I'll just play Mono Captain aggro. I'm okay with that. Another Dragon's Fire. And hey, now we have a dragon! Brazen Dwarf does synergize with die rolling, but we don't have that many things that actually roll dice. So take Dragon's Fire. Dragons. I still have not gotten a trophy in this league yet. Normally, like, I get one pretty quickly out of the gate and then just don't get any more. I have not gotten one yet, which tells me I'm playing this format really wrong. Dueling Rapier, definitely going to help turn on Pack Tactics for the Hobgoblin Captains. We're not going to make that many treasures for Rust Monster unless we're already winning with Gnawbone, so... what does this do? 7 mana, exile an instant sorcery from a graveyard, roll a d20, copy that card, or copy each card. Wow, okay. Well, we're going to take Dueling Rapier. We're not in blue. Another Earth Cult Elemental, or another You Find a Cursed Idol. There's not that many red and green cards in this pack, so it's possible they're getting picked. I'll take another Earth Cult Elemental. Yeah, the Ranger is good. I just think that we should probably be lower to the ground until we get Like, if we can get a hoarding ogre that makes treasures when it attacks, if we can get a couple of unexpected windfalls, then, like, maybe we can go taller. A third dueling rapier. Well, I will take a third dueling rapier. Thanks, Mauve. I really appreciate that. Good night, sir. We'll take Hoarding Ogre here. Thanks for stopping by. Wait, was it? I know it was strong, the combo with it in Faceless Haven. But I think if they were going to ban it, they would have banned Faceless Haven. Whoa, they actually banned it? Oh, it will be legal and regular standard when rotation happens. I don't know what the exact set of criteria is for this, but they're banning it. We'll take the fourth dueling rapier. The legendary quad wielding. Yeah, I'll take a steadfast paladin. Put it in the sideboard. Unexpected windfall is great for us. Price of Loyalty is going to be good for us. It's better than Brazendorf. Not playing any of those cards, not playing Mimic, but it's not a basic, and we get Forced a Mountain. Put 4 rapiers on a Beholder. I was going to put like 3 of them on a single creature and say he's like Zorro. Wanty Malison. Can't be blocked as long as it is attacking alone. Deals combat damage to a creature or player venture into the dungeon. I'll take Dragon's Fire. You hate the equip cost on Rapier? Yeah, except you almost never have to equip it. And if you are, you're going into the late game and you're probably losing anyway. Alternatively, like, the format tends to go long, so it's not really that bad. Card's great. I'm going to take Swarming Goblins, I think. I am not taking a 5th Rapier, especially not when there's a really strong Plundering Barbarian in this pack. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain a life. Oh yeah, the Druid class. I think Plundering Barbarian's still better for us, simply because it gets us to Gnawbone faster with the treasures. I'm bad, of course I'm going into the late game and losing. The only reason that I'm taking 4 is because we have Hobgoblin Captains, and if we can equip the Hobgoblin Captains, and they can start attacking by themselves and triggering pack tactics, that's fantastic. I'm going to have to cut some non-creature spells already. So, like, probably you find some prisoners. Double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn, or it deals 5 damage to a creature with flying. That card seems great. I could take the Ranger or the Herd Gorger. Or the Armory Veteran, because I have 4 dueling rapiers. I'm going to take the veteran. Boots of Speed? I'll take a Boots of Speed. Knoll Hunter would not be bad either. But I want one set of boots in this deck. Oh my gosh, I have Minion of the Mighty. We could put old Gnawbone into the battlefield tapped and attacking. Oh my gosh. Take Outlander, I guess. Bull's strength is fine, but Outlander's better. Another Hoarding Ogre kind of seems like where I want to be. Out of those creature options there. Simply because we do have a couple of really expensive cards. Plus, if we just make a ton of treasures, we can draw with the Instrument of the Bards. I'll take a Knoll Hunter. I'm kind of overloading the 2-drop slot. And it would probably be better to have more of a curve, but... Pack Tactics, though. I think we take Bullet. Sylvan Shepherd. Number 3. You find a Cursed Idol for the sideboard. Altar Guard Ranger. I like how the minion kept the standard Kobold stats from Legends. I was gonna say, aren't all Kobolds 0/1s? So a lot of the Kobolds are 0 mana 0/1s, right? Like Kobolds at Care Keep. I actually didn't make the connection because the older Kobolds do not look like D&D Kobolds. At least from my recollection. Hang on. Yeah, they do not look lizard-like. Herald of Hadar. Sideboard. Another Earth Cult Elemental. And a Forest into the side. Alright. Let's build a deck. Alright, group creatures separately. We need to cut a few non-creatures and a lot of creatures. So Meteor Swarm is like a 5-mana spell, I would say, for this deck. And a lot of our lower cost creatures are like huge payoffs for us. So I think we're going to get rid of Bullet. Inspiring Bard is not that great. I'm going to get rid of the Ranger. I'm going to go to at least 2 elementals, probably just 1. Cursed Idol, you find some prisoners, those can get out. Price of Loyalty is huge for enabling swings. Instrument of the Bards is probably too slow for this deck. It's not bad by any means, but we don't have a lot of creatures all at the same mana cost. Like, I can put this on 2 and pay 4 mana to draw a 2-drop. I think I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. So now I just have to cut 4 cards. And before anybody says anything about Dueling Repair, we're keeping it. Dragon's Fire, having 3 like lightning strikes is a pretty good place to be. What about it's critical, right? Because we're doing some pack tactic stuff. It actually matters. I'm gonna cut Swarming Goblins. And possibly this other Earth Cult Elemental. Because, like, it's great, right? But I don't want to cut any more creatures. I have to cut non-creatures, and I have to cut like 3. I guess that means I'm cutting Unexpected Windfall, despite the fact having one of those cards is fantastic. Oh gosh, this is gonna be... Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. I need to cut 2 cards. And really, it should be like Dueling Rapier, and then either Barbarian Class or Price of Loyalty. I do not want to cut the Dueling Rapiers, though, so I'm not going to. Those are staying. Looking at my deck, probably the worst thing left in it is... Maybe I don't need this Price of Loyalty. No, because it actually could make a huge difference. Alright, Dick Record. I'm cutting 1 Dueling Rapier. And then I'm running 41 cards. For reasons. Let's do this. Complains about not trophying, runs 41 cards. Oh, gosh. So now we need to get the Minion of the Mighty on turn 1. Turn 2, double Rapier on my opponent's end step, untap and Rapier number 3. That's the goal. Then attack and put Old Gnawbone into play. I have a turn 3 7/7 flying Mythic Dragon. That is the line we're looking out for. Still disappointed you didn't take the 5th one? I know. But, like, the first 2 are fantastic. The 3rd one is pretty good. And then, like, anything beyond that is really diminishing returns. So opponent leads on a Plains. We draw Dragon's Fire. Fantastic. Play a Mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains into a Steadfast Paladin. We draw a Mountain. Play a Forest, and kill the Paladin. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a Plains. Plays a Celestial Unicorn. I'm going to play a Sylvan Shepherd. If my opponent can gain life, that's bad, but we can still Dragonfire, and if we draw a land, we can Dragonfire and play Armory Veteran in the same turn. If my opponent attacks into this, then, yeah, I'm not blocking. We untap. We draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain. Go to combat. Attack with the Shepherd. We gain a life, so we rolled low. Opponent blocks and is willing to trade. But I'm going to kill it in response. Alright. Yes, the Unicorn. Just have a handy supply of Dragonfire on hand and you'll be fine. You fool! You activated my trap card! Portable Hull. In goes the Armory Veteran. We untap. We draw Earth Cult Elemental, go to combat. Attack. We gain 2 life this time. And play a Hoarding Ogre. Pass the turn. Opponent turns the Hoarding Ogre into a treasure. We draw a Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Gain a bunch of life. Play another Hoarding Ogre. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Half-Elf Monk. We untap. Draw Sylvan Shepherd. Go to combat. Wonder if they know we want treasure. Treasure? Treasure! Gain 2 life. Make a treasure. Opponent blocks. Hit them to 14. Let's play the Earth Cult Elemental. Opponent has to sack a permanent. Unless we roll low. Okay, we got a middle of the road roll there. Road roller! Sorry, I said road and roll immediately. Opponent plays a Celestial Unicorn. Then passes. Does not have mana to Stunning Strike, which is nice. We untap. Draw a mountain. Go to combat. Roll a bunch. Gain life. Make 2 treasures. Opponent blocks and trades. They have Wild Shape. They make it a 3/3. Alright. So they kill our guy, they take 6. And if they think they're clever, 2 more shall take its place. Yeah, where's the dragon at? No kidding. Play a land, pass the turn. Game over. Oh, this deck's fantastic. My opponent... Yeah, no. Just run it back. Man, the only way that would have been scarier is if we'd started with Barbarian class, because it's just advantage on all your die rolls. Heck yeah, I'm keeping this. Opponent leads on a Plains. We draw Dueling Rapier. We lead on Boots of Speed. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest. We untap and draw a Plundering Barbarian. Play Hobgoblin Captain. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Forest into a Celestial Unicorn. We untap. Draw Meteor Swarm. Okay. So I can play Plundering Barbarian and equip the Boots of Speed to him. And that would let me swing for 6. Half of it has First Strike. But I think what we do is actually just Dragon's Fire this and equip the boots now. Because I don't want my opponent to gain value out of that creature. If it gets much larger, we'd have to Meteor Swarm it to kill it. And next turn, if I draw a land, I can play Plundering Barbarian and then Dueling Rapier without using my treasure. And then if I draw another land, I can Hoarding Ogre and immediately have it attack. We draw Earth Cult Elemental. So play Plundering Barbarian. Make a treasure. Yeah, I'm just going to Dueling Rapier. Put it on the Hobgoblin Captain. Go to combat. Attack for 6 with First Strike. Opponent takes 6 and goes to 10. They play a Plains. They Spoils of the Hunt. Fight and kill the Hobgoblin. Then they attack. I think that attack is incorrect unless they have the Divine Arrow effect. Or a blocker. We untap. We draw Hoarding Ogre. Suit up. Go to combat. Hit them for 3. We do need to draw mana. Opponent plays a Forest. 6 mana, they play a Green Dragon. Enters the battlefield until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, destroy it. They do not attack. We untap. We draw a forest. So play a forest. Play a Hoarding Ogre. And if we can get even just a little bit of mana, this is going to be fantastic. Pass the turn. Opponent attacks for 7. They get to draw a card. Yeah, that's fine. We go to 10. Opponent plays a forest. Gets a half-elf monk and a celestial unicorn. We untap. We draw Hobgoblin Captain. So, go to combat. Attack for a lot. See what we roll. 2 treasures. So opponent trades and blocks. And then they lose all of their creatures. Because we Meteor Swarm. 1 damage there. 4 there, 3 there, and we board wipe them. Oh, the 3 for 2. Oh, that was awesome. How do you come back from that? It kind of looks like you don't. Play Hobgoblin Captain. Move the Boots of Speed over. Go to combat. Hit them for 6. They go to 1. And land or another cheap creature means we have another haste threat because Boots of Speed is super good. And we got him. Round 1 in our favor. I'll see you guys in round 2. Jeez. Actually, I need to restart the client. Meteor Swarm is excellent removal. Oh, man. If your opponent did not say "wow, sack" in chat, he's way nicer than the D-bags you've played against. Honestly, most people are not salty anymore in Moto chat. There are very, very few that I've run into for quite a while. I used to get salty opponents all the time, and for some reason I don't anymore. Alright, round 2, I would like to play first. 3 removal spells and a dueling rapier, but no threats. Still gonna keep. Maybe all the salty players died of high blood pressure. I mean, I guess that's in theory possible. Opponent starts with a Goblin Javelineer. Hits us for 1. We draw a mountain, play a forest, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a forest. They go to combat. I'm going to take the 1 here. If they've got a 2-drop, I would rather Dragon's Fire that. Okay, Knoll Hunter. Kill that. We untap. Play a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent untaps, they draw. They go to combat. They hit us for 1. We go to 17. They play a land. Eye of Vecna. Enters the battlefield, draw a card, and lose 2 life. Okay. I'm going to Dragon's Fire this one too. and force them to play more stuff. We untap. We draw Armory Veteran. Play Armory Veteran. Now, if my opponent doesn't do anything on their turn, we'll Dueling Rapier to attach to it on their end step. They untap. They do not pay for Eye of Vecna. Interesting. They play a land. They play Inspiring Bard. They're going to gain life. Kill the Bard. The old 3 premium removal spells for your first 3 guys. Dueling Rapier. Suit up. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Take them to 17. Then play Sylvan Shepherd. Play out our forest. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Eye of Vecna trigger. They're paying for it against a deck as aggressive as ours? I guess if they need to draw lands, that would be the way to go. They play a land. They got nothing. We untap. Draw Plundering Barbarian. Go to combat. Attack for 6. We roll. Gain 2. Opponent takes 6. They go to 9. Let's destroy Eye of Vecna. I don't want my opponent drawing extra cards. You never know. They could have a Meteor Swarm. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Spiked Pit Trap. So they can use that to kill the Armory Veteran if they pay 5 mana. They play Hill Giant Herd Gorger and gain 3. We untap. We draw a mountain. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. Because Menace. They go to 8. They untap. They probably, from their life total, have to keep that Herd Gorger on defense. I mean, if they don't, and they're not going to use Spiked Pit Trap, we're just going to swing all out. If we draw Meteor Swarm, that could kill the Herd Gorger. If we draw more equipment, we can spread out our damage a little bit more. Opponent attacks for 7. Okay, no blocks. Take 7, go to 12. Opponent plays a Battlecry Goblin. And Boots of Speed. And equips. Interesting. Alright, we untap. We draw Meteor Swarm. So play a mountain. Kill both their guys and then kill them? Oh no, he's got something. Bull Strength. Alright. Well, that doesn't stop us from attacking. And they have to block or they die. So they still end up losing their Hill Giant Herd Gorger. Gain a life. And thankfully they did not get to use that offensively. So taking 2 and going to 6. Wow, Meteor Swarm actually did way more there because my opponent would have been able to block down the Menace guy. And they scoop. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. That's 4 premium removal spells. And 1, like, super premium rare removal spell. Yeah, just run it back. That was brutal. Minion of the Mighty and Barbarian class. I am keeping this. We only have one one removal spell, but I think it's fine. Opponent leads on Boots of Speed. We draw a forest, which is excellent. Play a mountain, play barbarian class. Pass the turn. I'm probably just going to spend next turn leveling it up, unless my opponent plays something I really need to kill. Eye of Vecna, they lose 2 life and draw a card. We untap and draw Dueling Rapier. Level up Barbarian class. Pass the turn. Eye of Vecna, they do not pay for it again. They play a forest. They play Battlecry Goblin and equip. Hitting us for 3. We go to 17. Untap. We draw Old Gnawbone. It might happen. It is Wednesday. How's it going, Halsey? Pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest. 3 mana. They play Direwolf Prowler. They're gonna move the boots over. Yeah. Then we kill it. And they only get to attack for 2. Nice. Tick 2. Go to 15. We untap. Draw a mountain. Play a mountain. We can either play Sylvan Shepherd and Dueling Rapier and get in for damage this turn, or we can play Hoarding Ogre and get in for a lot of damage next turn. Let's play Sylvan Shepherd and Dueling Rapier. Go to combat. Hit them for 2. No pack tactics. Although, if we get pack tactics, Gnawbone's coming into play. When it untaps, does not pay for Eye of Vecna. Re-equips the Battlecry Goblin. Goes to combat. Attacks for 3. No blocks. Opponent pumps and then passes. We untap. Draw Hobgoblin Captain. Go to combat. Attack for 4. We get advantage. Power up Sylvan. I do not yet. I will next turn. Because that's a triggered ability, not a static one that happens before attacks. And I'm actually going to level up Barbarian class here. Because next turn I will have Pack Tactics, and my opponent is going to get yeeted off the face of this earth. Opponent untaps. Eye of Vecna trigger, they don't pay for it. Opponent goes to combat, they attack. No blocks. Not a 1. We go to 10. Opponent passes. We untap. Draw a forest. Play a forest. Play Hoarding Ogre. Go to combat. Swing. Pack Tactics. Roll. Power up here. Minion of the Mighty. Yeah, use its ability. Gnawbone. Roll. We did it. We Minion of the Mighty'd our mythic. Oh, we are undefeated. Going in round 3. You have 3 people to come head hunt you? I mean, you should probably follow up on those leads, because they might get you a better job than what you got, potentially. I mean, unless they don't, in which case, don't do that, but... Kobold did his job, and we could have drafted a second one, by the way. But we didn't, because we didn't know we were going to get a dragon. We just opened up Gnawbone. The best is the one you took at $14 an hour. Everything else is $13. I mean, you could always ask, because it's generally, like, you should always ask. You just say, like, is that the best you could do? Even if you're desperate for a job. And now that you have a job, you could actually ask them, just be like, hey, would you pay like 15 or, you know, whatever? Because now you already have a job. So you could ask the other people, and the worst they'll tell you is no, and it doesn't matter because you already have a job. We could have also drafted a 5th dueling rapier, Duder, Master of Rapiers. Minion of the Mighty with 5 rapiers. It's just like a kobold with like an arm full of swords. Running away from a dragon. I think that's how I'd flavor that in my mind. Duct taped together. Swordtron. Alright. This hand is not keepable in the slightest. Mulligan. I'm sorry, did you say the current dueling rapier count for the league is woefully less than we want? Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to put back the Sylvan Shepherd. If we can get to the Hoarding Ogre, our mana situation is not solved, but it's way better. What's the punt count for the stream? Like 3. Not 100% on that. Opponent plays Wizard Class. They mulliganed to 5. Alright, play a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a forest. We draw another Dragonfire, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They do not get their 3rd land, which it looks like they might be relying on. We untap. We draw Price of Loyalty. Play a forest, play the Sylvan Shepherd, pass the turn. Did you die a little making the hammer beam vid? No, no, I did not die. Alright, I did not draw a land, and this feels really bad, but we're going to Lightning Strike a 1/1 so they don't get lands. Attack them for 2. We gain 1. Opponent did find a 2nd land. They have another guy we can Lightning Strike, which is fantastic. We can pay the ward cost. Go to combat. Hit them for 2. Pass the turn. You went 3-1 with your Lurrus Jund decked? Not bad. Opponent draws 2 cards. They play a land. Hall of the Storm Giants. Alright. We draw Dragon's Fire number 3. Well, Dueling Rapier. Put it on the Shepherd. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. Really need to get to that 4th mana. Had I known we were going to draw our other Hoarding Ogre, I would have put that Ogre back, but... Opponent plays an Owlbear. We untap and draw a Mountain. Perfect. Play Hoarding Ogre. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Forest. They play a second Owlbear. We untap. We draw a Dueling Rapier. So... go to combat. Attack with Hoarding Ogre. We get a treasure. Opponent blocks. So use the Rapier to get a trade. Play another Ogre. Pass the turn. You've been texting a Grixis Unearth deck in tournament practice. Thought it was going well, but finally entered a league and went 1-4. Yeah, tournament practice, people generally meme a lot in. Opponent unsummons the Shepherd. Okay, then passes. We untap. We draw a Forest. So play a Forest. Replay the Shepherd. Pass the turn. Oh, nice. Opponent plays a 3-mana 2/2 flyer, which I will probably Lightning Strike. They do get to Venture, though. It's okay, you can play the card. You want to spike, you play Jund. Play Ragavan. I don't care. I just hate the card. I don't hate you for liking it, Halsey. You're too nice. So kill the 2/2, untap. We draw an Intrepid Outlander. Suit up the Ogre. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Make some treasures. Hoping for 2 here. There's 2. Okay, opponent trades. Then we'll play an Intrepid Outlander. Opponent has a Bar the Gate. They get to Venture. Pass the turn. Uses the new Harmonic Prodigy with Dreadhorde Arcanist, Young Pyro, and Seagate Stormcaller. That's actually pretty sick sounding. We untap. Draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain. Play Earth Cult Elemental. Force our opponent to sack a permanent, at least. They sack the token. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a land. They fly, so they get to Venture twice. Okay. Well, we're going to Price of Loyalty that creature so we can go venturing as well. Unless that would kill our opponent. Opponent gets to draw an additional card. They Charmed Sleep our guy. That's really annoying. We untap. We draw a Forest. So... play the Forest. Equip. That's 4 damage, and I could do up to 9 this turn if I take the Air Cult Elemental. I think I still do that. Go to combat. Attack for 9, gain some life. And if my opponent hadn't had that Charmed Sleep, we'd have killed them there. But they're only at 3, so... Opponent plays a land. They do have Hall of the Storm Giants, and it is available. We need to find a way to get 3 damage in as quickly as we can. Opponent plays another Shortcut Seeker. Attacks for 2. They get to venture twice. Meme deck idea? I'm listening. Opponent is now doing Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Gaining a life, going to 4. We untap. Put a dragon dude into a deck, make the deck infect, and then boom dragons. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The like kobold, and then just like pump the kobold really quickly. That's doable in standard because Infuriate. Pretty sure Infuriate is standard legal. Go to combat. Attack for 7 and force them to block. Is there a dragon that wins the game on the spot that's really hard to kill? There probably is. It's modern, but it's not jumping out to me off the top of my head. Like, there's Skitherix, right? But that requires you to... maybe Gnawbone. Chromatic Orrery plus Tron plus new Fire-Breathing Dragon needs to be a thing. We need to build a list. That is what needs to happen. Opponent gets to venture 3 times. I don't think I'm playing Bull Strength in this deck, because if I am, I could just untap this elemental and kill them. Something other dragons? It's when you Arcane Adaptation, and you put Emrakul into play. Emrakul best dragon. Alright, opponent gets some skeletons. And they level up Wizard class. We untap. We draw a Null Hunter. Play the Null. They have another Bar the Gate. Okay. That's going to be game. On to round 2 here. Or match 3, game 2. I don't think we make adjustments. I could play Elterguard Ranger, but I don't think I'm going to. Alright, I would like to play first. This hand is not keepable. This hand might be. Putting back Sylvan Shepherd and leading on a mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island, then passes. We draw another mountain. Play Hobgoblin Captain. Pass the turn. Is that the one that makes a... Oh yeah, there's dragons that win the game. I'm trying to think of what they are, though, off the top of my head. Okay, we draw Old Gnawbone. Go to combat. Oh, no, I wasn't thinking of Hellkite. I'm thinking of Udvara Hellkite, I think. The one that makes copies of itself, or tokens. Play Null Hunter. Pass the turn. Oh, but it wouldn't get the attack trigger if you're cheating it in. Alright, opponent lands a Varus Silvery Moon Ranger. So we suit up this Hobgoblin Captain. You could use the Planar Chaos 3-color dragons, right? We're not going to reveal a dragon. We'll just Dragon's Fire and then pay. I mean, yeah, but you get the treasures after you deal damage. And if your deck is based around pump spells for your Minion of the Mighty, that doesn't line up that great. I mean, like, it helps you, right? It helps you potentially reset, but... Alright. On to game 3. This is really fast. I might actually want this, you find a cursed idol. But I'm not going to play it. What in Modern, aside from Terminate and Trophy, is going to kill the dragon? The Dragrin? The Durgan? Can I keep this? It's really close. If I draw a green land, it's probably okay, and if I don't, it probably does nothing. I think I'm going to mulligan. This is okay-ish. Put back the Earth Cult Elemental, but we still need to draw good cards. Dismember kills it. Opponent leads on Neverwinter Dryad. Play a mountain, pass the turn. Oh, it's a 7/7? I thought it was a 7-mana 5/5. You can't expect me to read. We untap. Draw Dragon's Fire, play a mountain, and play Armory Veteran. 7/7. I mean, Path kills it, right? Push doesn't. Bolt doesn't. Literally, yeah, you expect me to read my own cards? Who reads their own cards? We untap. I need a land. More than anything else right now, I need a land. Oh, thank God. Kill Varus. Otherwise, I was completely boned. Go to combat. Hit them for 2. Make them to 18. Pass the turn. I need another land. Preferably a green one, but red will do. You don't need to read when the opponent scoops. Yeah, not usually. Opponent plays a Shortcut Seeker. Oh yeah, because the Prismatic Ending spell, right? Play Hoarding Ogre. Pass the turn. At least the Ogre can, in theory, block. I said in theory. Opponent gets to venture twice. You can just play Dragon Toolbox and get what you need with Pact. Summoner's Pact? Summoner's Pact only gets green creatures. I know Gnawbone's a green dragon, so you got me there, but... That makes the thing even more Glass Cannon, because if Gnawbone doesn't connect... Like, if your opponent does have stuff, you could be in huge trouble. We untap, we draw Hobgoblin Captain, go to combat, and attack for 5. Opponent must have some combat trick because they didn't level up Wizard class, or they have a counter spell. We get a treasure token. We hit them for 5. Look, I've never read any pact and I don't plan to. Play Hobgoblin Captain. Hoping they counter this if they're going to counter anything. There it is. Then play Sylvan Shepherd so we can start gaining life back. And also still be in this race. I learned from the best Kano. No, you're supposed to do as I say, not as I do. You're supposed to be better than me. But it hits us for 2. They get to level up twice, or venture twice. So they can say a creature can't attack. Scry. Yep. Yep. So our ogre can't attack. I know, I know. If I seem like I'm worked up, I'm kind of just hamming it up, I swear. Opponent has more they can play, are you kidding? Eccentric Apprentice. So much venture. No, don't make skeletons. Skeletons aren't fair. We untap. Twitch chat has 4 collective brain cells. Oh, that's rude. Go to combat. Attack here and here. Opponent double blocks to kill our guy. Shepherd hits them for 2. They go to 12. Then we play Hobgoblin Captain. And next turn, if we can crit on this Hoarding Ogre roll, we can play Gnawbone. Whoa, Halsey, you can't just claim to have 75% of the brain cells in chat. That'd give you like 9. Opponent scries 3. And then they get to draw 3 cards, or... yeah, draw 3 cards and cast one of them without paying its mana cost. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't actually feel like winning this game. Oh, there's just nothing... I didn't draft Plummet. Oh, man. Why didn't they Charmed Sleep that guy? They play an Owlbear. We untap. Draw Hoarding Ogre. Opponent's venturing 2 to 3 times a turn. And when you're doing that, you can generally get through even Dungeon of the Mad Mage pretty quickly. Uh-huh. They're turning the ogre into a flying bird. I could chump with it. I'm not going to, but I could. I get to venture twice. Many venture greater than very few venture. Dick Record, thank you for writing that in Kanoese. You spaced that every pact is not pact of blank. I mean, there's Demonic Pact. But all of the you must pay for pacts are pact of blanks. Why would you sleep that guy? We untap. Draw Dueling Rapier. Go to combat. We really somehow magically need a crit. Oh, well, it's 2. That's not bad. Opponent blocks. Dueling Rapier. Set up the trade. The worst part is I know they're going to have another counterspell. Oh, you know what? I am... Why do you like Kano streams again? Play another Hoarding Ogre. Here comes the bar, the gate. Yup. Opponent gets to venture again. Not a plummet in sight. Yeah, we're just dead. You know how to beat Ragavan? Are you ready? Does it not play Modern? Is it Gut Shot? Play Intervention Pack? No, actually, it's not. It's not Intervention Pact. I know that. I know what card you're talking about. Don't play that one. The way that you actually beat Ragavan is by playing Shining Shoal. And you think I'm laughing, but I'll play Pitch Control. Don't worry. It's one of the cards I want to play again very soon. We don't have a way to get to Gnawbone. And even if we did, my opponent definitely has us outpaced. So, I think it's time we scoop. Still no trophy for Kano. Alright, well, that's 2 whole leagues today. No. Shining Shoal is actually huge. And I'm not even... I'm not... Shining Shoal is an awesome card. Shining Shoal kills Death Shadow players. Because when your opponent swings with a 1-mana 8/8, you just say, okay, 9 damage to your face, pitching Iona. I'm not even making that up either. I've done that. So you play Pitch Control, right? You play Shining Shoal, you play Sunscour, you play Chancellor of the Annex, so you get the first 4 spike, and then you have a 7-drop that you can pitch to Shining Shoal and Sunscour. How does it stop Ragavan? You have Ragavan deal 2 damage to itself. They hit you, they still get the... No, because it's when it deals combat damage, and the damage gets prevented. So they don't get the trigger off of Ragavan either. You just dump 2 cards to get rid of their 1-drop for 0 mana. Or you have them hit themselves. And then, like, Collective Brutality turn 2. I'm listening. Play Chalice on 1 consistently? Are you talking about with Chancellor of the Tangle? Because, I mean, if you could guarantee that you had Chalice and Chancellor in your opener, and were on the play, it would work. Play Gutshot. I mean, Gutshot would work too. The problem is, so the only thing that's wrong with Gutshot is that people who play that deck generally will Thoughtseize you on turn 1 and then dash him on turn 2. Gemstone Caverns doesn't work for Chalice because Gemstone Caverns implies your opponent went first and they got to Thoughtseize your Chalice or whatever other important spell you had. And since we're already playing Gutshot, we might as well play Terex Blue-Red Tron. You just want to see Is It Tron? I do not want to see Spirit Guide in the current meta. I don't think Spirit Guide should have been banned, but I don't want to see it in the current meta. I think it would be broken with the Cascade decks running around. Monkey Mana Tribal. Yeah, the 1-drop that gives you treasures and then just exile monkeys from your hand. Why do you put up with us? Because I'm not putting up with you. You're the one putting up with me. You can leave anytime you want. I'm stuck here in this basement. You're the streamer. Says you. Kano is chained to the magic cards. That's actually not inaccurate. Number 1 hobby / addiction. And I figured if I was going to be playing with them at all, I might as well make something of it and stream. Chair Senpai holding you hostage again. Yeah, what you don't see is the fact that I'm actually, like, cuffed to the chair. I really don't deserve this sub I was gifted. Oh my gosh. There's a knife in the cushion. Oh no. No. I do not need a psychotic chair. I'm sure he's got other things to be doing right now. He's not like... I mean, he draws a lot of art on here. And I've... Oh, man. I can't imagine, like... Maybe I'm just not that kind of person to, like, show up on somebody else's stream and then just, like, put in a whole bunch of effort. What I'm saying is Silver is better than me. He's missing the fan fiction. Yeah, but the fan fiction doesn't need to exist. Alright. Well, I gotta go. I have to go. You need more Kano lore? Gall. At least there's not people in chat telling me to post feet or anything like that. No. No. Alright, I need to go get my chores done. But this was fun. And I'm glad that this was kind of a light stream. There wasn't like as many people that showed up, but I feel like I got to interact more meaningfully with the people that did. Like we had Mauve show up and start trolling me, and it was a good time. It's not my birthday, but you're all wonderful human beings, and I really appreciate spending this time with you. So yeah. All right. Clean up all the birthday cake and party decoration. I'm getting out of here. All right, see you guys later. Bye.